This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Hey everybody, this is Daniel Garza. Welcome to another episode of Put It Together. I'd like to start as usual. Thank you, my producer, Mr. Kevin Morris, for all his help and support. Thank you, sir. Inviting all of you to check us out at abnormalentertainment.com, where you can find all the shows on our network. I'm sure there's something for you. Go check it out. For those of you who follow me, you can go to Put It Together Podcast on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. You can also check me out at Little Mexican Productions on Facebook. Find out everything we're doing at the production company, along with our show Zodiacs with Daniel and Wayne, which airs every other Monday on Facebook Live. So go check that out. Today, I want to go ahead and get started. Stephen Hercy, is that correct?
That's good.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure seeing you here. We're actually in my studio.
This is awesome. Thank you for letting me come into your
Of course,
studio.
you notice that there's no weight training equipment because sometimes I tell people, yeah, we're just having a quiet conversation, and they come in their gym clothes. They don't hear. You know what I mean?
Well, I was a little intimidated at first when we made arrangements to interview. I'm like, oh God, like I better not show up with a cookie or something.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking smack it out of my hand.
Yeah.
But I'll tell them the secret. I caught you eating when I walked out.
That's right. I had my shirt off. Nature boy.
I was like,
Batista warned me he's going to be but.
I was like, it's not that kind of show, Steven. Put your clothes back on.
Yeah, relax. Take it cool. Yeah.
But let's get started. I went to your website and I followed your story a little bit, but I want folks to know about you. Tell us how you put it together.
Well, people always like to know your background. Was I born with these great genetics, and did I grow up in a family of athletes? And no, I was that skinny, scrawny guy that you see in the Charles Atlas commercials where people would come and kick sand in your face. And I came from a Jewish background where my father wouldn't think of ever exercising. Okay. And what I did have was a positive mindset because I thought muscles on a boy or a man looked really great. And then, in life, as I grew up, the guys with the muscles always had the great girls. Yeah. It was just the way it was, And then when I tried different athletic events, as an athlete, the one that had more muscles was able to actually be much stronger than I was, even though I was quicker or faster. People tell you if you're quick, you're fast. Well, let me tell you, it's a lot easier if you're physically stronger.
Yeah. So, going back, at what age do you start, looking at your body going?
It's so far back, maybe 13 years old.
Okay. I
started realizing how scrawny and pathetic it was. I thought there'd be a way of improvement. So I originally came from Canada, Montreal, Canada, and we had, health clubs like Family Fitness or LA Fitness and things like that, where you could buy a cheap membership. You would show up and it had weight training equipment, and then pretty soon I got my mother to pay for the membership.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We didn't want to tell my father. And, of course, after 30 days, everybody left and I'd still be there. See, I had a mindset to keep on improving. So it wasn't just a quick fix for me. I found the world of strength training or bodybuilding or how people put their bodies together just totally fascinating.
Now, you mentioned not coming from a family that was very workout or sports inclined.
The least workout family imaginable.
Yet you had that drive. Can you think back to being 13 years old and pinpoint where your personal drive came from?
I think it's instilled in me. I had 5 sisters who bullied me, or I was always in trouble, or I was always like the weaker sex and things like that. I had a real feminine side. I was looking to be more masculine. I was looking to know how to solve problems, and I was like a mama's boy. I couldn't do no wrong. I was like her hero, so to sense. Right. And I had no communication with my father. He owned a company, but he was actually an electrical contractor, and he got along really great with the street people. He talked their language. and yet we had no communication at all.
Wow. So that's interesting because you could have gone in another direction in life,
Right.
where a lot of young men do. And I'll raise my hand because I didn't have a great connection with my dad, and I definitely, as soon as I hit 20, I was doing drugs and drinking. But yet you decided you were going to do something better with your life, and that's pretty. For a 13-year-old, that's pretty.
Yeah, I always had a positive mindset, and I joined the gyms, and pretty soon nobody was there except me, and a new batch of people would come in. That's how the business runs. They hype you to join. But I always had a vision of what to do in the gym.
Okay.
And apart from that, we had a floor 4 house. And in the basement, I built a gym, or I had like a chinning bar, and how to do push-ups, and kind of like backward type of stuff.
Okay.
Okay? So, yeah, it was like, all she has to do is pull the plug. Sorry, I got to deal with this, but I get by in real humor. It's the dynamics between male and female. But anyways, so I had this dungeon type of gym in the basement, but I started off really good by doing chin ups and push ups and just the basic stuff. And then I had an uncle that wanted to give me a birthday present. And I took that money and I went out and I bought those springs.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So I went through that whole phase. It was kind of interesting because no matter how people laughed at me or thought of me, man, I was into it.
Yeah.
Well, I needed to be into it anyways. I was a pretty mischievous kid. I wanted a lot of attention, so I'd do anything to get attention.
Well, in a house full of women, basically,
yeah,
you had to scream your way out.
You know, like in the summers, I would go away to camp, and they would try to offer me some skiing instructions, water skiing, and I'd be on the water with the ski instructor, and I was kind of spastic, so when I would kick the ski off, I'd kick the instructor, and he'd wind up in the water. That wasn't too cool. Or then we'd go on a horseback riding trip overnight, and I'd be pulling on the reins while the horse was drowning in the river.
Wow.
And the guy would say, hey, Mr. Hercy, Stephen Young. I said, what are you talking about? Poor Howard. I didn't know that when you pull the reins back, they can't balance themselves. See, when the horse pulls his head back, when he's swimming, he can drown.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was always looking for attention, so I lasted and then in my basement we had a pool table and a ping pong table, and then I'd play hockey in the basement and shoot the puck, and put holes in the walls, and then I would play tennis in the driveway and put holes in the driveway, and then I would have a window where I'd dump water on people when they would ring the doorbell, and then I had a vicious dog that would try to chew people's hand when they... I was a kid that wanted some attention. I didn't know how to get it, and my release was to go work out on my body.
So even though you had this, because there has to be a discipline, even at that age, you had to know that there was a discipline to working out, right?
I had the discipline to work out.
There was still an evil side to Stephen.
Yeah. It was a really good release, so it stayed with me for a long time. And then... later on, when I would be progressively going to other gyms and joining it and getting that experience, then I would see these guys that actually had muscles, and they said, I said, well, where do you train? And they say, well, I train at Jimmy Caruso's place. I said, well, what's that guy? I never heard of that guy because it sounds like a little shrimp. Okay?
And
it took 5 years before I went to visit him.
Yeah.
And he would say, here's just a little tiny guy. And he would say, but here's the interesting thing. He had a studio in downtown Montreal that looked exactly like a boxing environment. Old floors, just like you see in the Joe Louis movies.
Yeah.
But he had weight training equipment in there. And every bodybuilding star, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, would fly into Montreal to this little studio to get photographed. All those photographs of Arnold were done by Jimmy Caruso.
Oh, wow.
He never got a cent from it. He just wasn't that type of businessman. So he'd stay there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning doing photographs. That was his main business. And he ran this gym. And when I came to see him, he would say, you work out with my system and you'll need a dog tag to recognize yourself. So he had a system that was unbelievable, but he'd keep everything secret. So he'd always tell you, he'd write out a program and make you wait 2 or 3 weeks or a month and wouldn't tell you what it does, just go do it, okay? He was very secretive, okay? But his system worked. You would see guys come in, and 2 or 3 months later, 8 months later, they became bodybuilding champions, or they actually physically changed their appearance. But I love the way his system ran. It always worked on your posture. It always ran on a progressive system.
Okay.
And so when you learn from Bruce Lee, I learned from Jimmy Caruso, among others. But I knew his system wouldn't address certain concerns men have, and I knew it wouldn't address certain concerns women have.
Okay.
So then I started to expand my knowledge and my education, and I would actually start to develop more programs that were more accurate in addressing conditions in the body.
Okay. And we're going to get into your program in a second, but you're this kid going to...
I still am that kid. You know, when I get up, I got to tell you, when I get up in the morning, I say to Batista, am I too fat or am I too skinny? And she says, no, honey, you're okay.
Okay, let me ask you about that. Do you still feel insecure about your body?
Oh yeah, every single day. You know why? Because you got to go in the gym and see the young generation or the incredible bodies. That's where I go. Myself personally, I write the prescriptions for LA Fitness, things like that. I do investigative reporting, and I have 3 gyms next to my office, which is LA Fitness. And yet I get in the car and I go to Gold's Gym. That's the environment, man. When you go there, you've got a place that's in your face, it's a mirror in your face, that you better keep training because it's not an easy to get the body you want. And there's great inspiration. Nobody yells at you, nobody talks to you, nobody cares about you, but it's like being in the zoo.
Wow.
You never get bored. And the tools that you can use to train your body comfortably are there. What people don't know about that, you could be in a gym that has the wrong pair of shoes, so you're not going to make progress, or you're not ever going to really fall in love with actually the gym being first. But when I go to the gym, it's the safest place in the world for a man. Really? It's the hardest place to go. Yeah. Like I'm sitting in my house, you can see it's nice and cushy. I like to have conversation with people. I like to create solutions for people. All of a sudden, I'm sitting here, the muscles in my thigh get short, I get lazy. I'm in my feminine. The creative part of a man is feminine. So now, do I really want to go right now, go to Gold's Gym in Venice? When I tell people, take my formula, it's a piece of paper, pick it up, walk out, and step in your car. That's how you get to the gym. Just step in the car. As soon as you start, the 3/4 when you get to the gym, now you miss the traffic, you miss the stress, and there's the gym. When you walk in the gym, Jesus, man, I'm putting all that time on myself. This is great. I'm free. I don't have to answer questions. I don't have to, but there's tools there that can make me feel good or look good.
And okay, so
because I want to elaborate on that, and then we're going to get to your guys. Because when you're younger, it's ego when you go to the gym to work out. When you get older, because I'm 70, and I don't take any testosterone or anything like that, and I'm not on any drugs.
Just everybody wants.
Yeah, just in case you want to know that. What happens is, when you get older, okay, only one gets better with age. What happens is you have a feminine side. You produce less testosterone. So when you take care of your body, whether it's combing your hair or brushing your teeth or going to the gym and working with weights, it's feminine. So it's the greatest time in a man's life because if he learns how to train and do things that are comfortable to his body, he can only feel better in life. So men don't, older men, when I talk to them or something, they do go to the gym and some don't. But they're not in touch with who they are. They're doing exercises in the gym because they used to train and they're trying to lift the weights they used to, but they can't. So they distort their posture, okay? And their body gets worse as they get older. You know, when I go to the gym, I see people doing exercise, or even middle-aged people or younger people, I always stare at them. They want to know, why are you staring at me? Because I'm saying, my God, why on earth, if you're a grown man, would you do that exercise like that? Man, there's a machine over there, you can just sit on it, that costs $5,000, does the same thing.
Interesting.
See, they're totally ignorant about the gym. So I use advanced ergonomics. What is that? You come in, you have a foot problem, I get you a special orthotic. As soon as you have that orthotic, creates the arch of the foot, and you will feel comfortable, your neck will be better in place, and you'll be really interested in going for a walk.
Right.
So there's a whole dynamics that going on.
But between walking into Jimmy Caruso's and here, there's a whole time lapse. There's a lot of... Stephen Hercy had to have gone through some ups and downs to figure all this out. Can you walk us through some of that?
Oh, well, what happened is, we'll start with women, especially.
It always starts with women.
That could be a man too. You know, it's kind of funny because today and age, the man comes into my office and he says, "Well, I'm here with my wife," and okay, can I meet your wife, whatever it is, or no, he says, "I'm here with my other half." So I'm figuring, okay, he's married. Okay, when he comes in, he introduces the boyfriend. You know, I think it's great. You know what I mean? But things have changed. So I knew there were no. So what I came across was women who have problems, image problems. They had cellulite, or their bodies were unbalanced, or things of that nature. And so it was up to me to come up with a solution so their body could turn out more beautiful. Okay. So I started working on formulas so many years ago. The great thing about it, and it continued, because everything right now, strength training is the number one anti-aging in the world, and doctors have taken hold. The difference is I've chronicled every bit of training for the last 40 or 50 years.
Wow.
Everything has been documented. Okay, I'm the first body designer in the world. When we go back in history, the only designer body was a car guy, but there was no expression as body designer. See, when sometimes I talk to somebody, they say, "Oh, you're a personal trainer." Now, when you ask me, if you came to see me and you said you're an interior designer, I inherently know what a designer is. A designer has a certain flair, a certain vision. He's going to make me better. But today, people in society are what we call stupid. You say, I'm an interior, or I help, like, they don't ask questions. They say, "Oh, I have a trainer." "Oh, I have a trainer." They discount you. Or they say, I know what I'm doing. So I know Batista was talking to you about a person that was a guest speaker at an event.
Right.
With my when I walk in a room, I can hold on somebody. Okay. Sometimes it works, it doesn't. You know, because before, if you go to the gym or somewhere as men, you kind of connect with each other.
Right.
If I go to LA Fitness, nobody talks to each other. They're like brain dead. They have earmuffs on, and they do weird things, you know. They don't say hello. Before, if you're a muscular guy, they say, "Oh, how'd you get that way?" Not today.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the person I'm talking about, he's a guest speaker. So he had a good connection with Batista because they were in some spiritual class 20 years ago. Now, the guy's good looking. He's a pro speaker, a pro businessman, pro everything. And I'm looking at him, and I say, "Man, when was the last time you visited a gym?" He says, I'm a member of a gym. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he says, I'm a member of a gym, and I used to own a gym. I do the publicity for a gym. Really? Did you work out? See, what I did was very fast. I said, if you worked out once a week, up to 3 times a week, if you wanted to, for 40 minutes, you could achieve great success. That he liked. See, because in my people's mind, they're trying to train like they used to, or they think they have to do aerobics every day, or they have to train 4 or 5 days in a week. They don't know if a program is sufficient, the memory of the muscles stays in your body. You know, if you had a good vacation, how long does it stay in your mind? You have that vision. So anyways, I had a conversation with him, and What I did is I did do the research. It was a brand new gym, very professional. Couldn't say anything negative about it. I called him into my house, asked him, "Why are you in that gym?" "Well, I'm a certain age. I have some issues with my back. I'm very concerned." "Yeah, but that gym doesn't have one piece of equipment that fits your body. Instead of like climbing boots, they've got all running shoes. You want to be grounded in your life, and you want to save time, money, and energy, and you want to be the program to be sustainable, but you're in the wrong environment." So what I had to do was I had to work on his mindset. How can I leave this situation, because I'm already in the gym, I'm paying a membership, or I'm not sure, and the gym guy is my client, and I do publicity for him. How would that look? This is very interesting. Well, let's look at it differently. You're not going to lose that client, okay? You don't have to hang out with your buddies. You're going to visit him once in a while. You're going to say hello to everybody. If he asks you something, you said you want expanded your training. That's all. You're going to find it more of a bigger ally by taking a leap of faith. So within a week, he was actually in a real gym, like Crunch Gym, in Burbank. And when he went there, he found that the manager who runs the whole operation was a long-lost friend.
Oh, wow.
So they had a connection right away. See? He didn't miss a step. He thought he'd miss his buddies. He didn't miss his buddies because he got into an environment that he could actually do something with his body.
You just brought up something interesting. Because I've wanted to join a gym forever. Not every gym is for everybody.
Okay, let me go slowly, because it's not negative.
No, and
okay. Every gym. Okay, let's go slow so people understand. You have to, it's real a mindset.
Okay.
Okay, a mindset is somebody who wants to exercise or be healthy because they know if they don't brush their teeth, they're going to have bacteria set in or some problems. So it's something that you want to do on a consistent basis, whether it's once a week or twice. The second thing is they need to be open to some mentoring as to what tool would best serve them for where they're at in their life. Okay? Yoga is not going to do it because it doesn't support your spinal column and it uses different muscle fibers. Running isn't really going to serve you all that well. There is exceptions, of course. Okay, so we're not...
Right, there's exceptions to everything, folks.
We're just giving you a general idea to open up your mind. So, where was I in that conversation? So every gym is different. Okay? Now, the reason I was able to make a program for... See, ordinarily I tell the person to join, that just switched over, I would tell them to join an LA Fitness. The reason is LA Fitness, the newer ones, have pretty standard equipment and it's good. But in each LA Fitness, they choose 2 or 3 companies. So a company would look like Life Fitness, Hammer Strength, you know what I mean, Free Motion, Star Trek, but they choose 1 or 2 or 3 of them. In his gym, there was some Star Trek equipment. He had some very advanced equipment that he doesn't know about. Okay, so what would that look like? So I make him a program. Let's say I make him a program, okay? So the ordinary thing for a man is to go into the gym and he can either use dumbbells, he can either do barbell pressing, okay? So in his program, he's at a 45-degree angle, and he has in his program, he didn't get it yet, of course, I'm telling you, he's going to get chest pressing. He's not going to have flat, he's going to be on a 45-degree angle, so when he lies on the bench, he can study his posture, how his body moves, just like martial arts, and he's going to feel more empowered because he can see himself in the mirror and he can make the adjustments. Okay? Well, a grown man needs to lift 50 or 60 or 70, 80-pound dumbbells if he wants a chest. So you can see that he's going to be really good up until about 40 or 50 pounds. And then he's not going to be too happy about having to lift dumbbells. Okay, it's just, when you're younger, you don't care. You'll do everything. Okay, so then I can switch him over to a barbell press,
Okay.
where he can do it on a bench, but everything is supported. We can actually put more weight on.
Okay.
See, it's like moving things up the chessboard. But what he doesn't know is there's an advanced piece of chess machine, and that's why I go to Gold's Gym, that all he has to do is sit in it and press it. He doesn't have to do barbell pressing, he doesn't have to go incline, he doesn't have to do anything. In 12 minutes, he could be finished his chest.
Oh, wow.
But not every gym has that.
Right. Got it.
So when I'm making a program, I'm already projecting the steps he's going to go through. You see, you got to give him something easy. It's got to make sense to his body. See, like he said to me, I think my sister might want to join the gym because we can get a package deal. Okay, so here's the trick. Okay, now I asked him, what happened to your sister? Oh, she don't like that gym. It's too creepy. Okay. He said, oh, look to my sister. Look how simple it is. All I have to do is go do the 6 exercises, you know. It's working.
Right.
In his mind. What he didn't do is what most guys do. He doesn't understand what he just told his sister. His sister, the Crunch Gym is not a place for his sister. You have to be a Hollywood guy to be able to go to Crunch Gym and work it. It's a hardcore gym.
Got it.
You understand? So people really are understanding. You have to know the layout. You have to know the equipment, and you got to know what's going on with your body and what you would do once you get there.
Okay.
And you have to have some guidelines, how much weight you want to lift, where are you going today and where are you going tomorrow. Because we did Norma, who came to see me. She's 74 years old.
Oh, wow.
Cancer survivor, open heart surgery for 2015. She's sitting there, I guess, in my office. She heard about me through her doctor. She just wants more energy. She wants to know why she didn't hear about me. Sorry. Well, at 74 years old, she's built, okay? Like, there's not much you can do about it. I mean, it's like looking at somebody that's kind of done.
She's had her time.
But that's where I come in. I have a vision for her. See, I know everything. If I develop a program, she could be successful. She's not looking to be a bodybuilder. She's looking to have functional energy. She wants more energy. She wants better balance. And she doesn't want her body to deteriorate. You know, in 3 months' time, she goes to LA Fitness and she trains better than a pro bodybuilder.
Wow.
She has 36 different exercises assembled differently on different days that she can execute perfectly with weight.
Wow.
Like a hammer one-arm horse row. You've seen that in the gym. She does 2 plates each side.
Wow.
She does a deadlift, straight leg deadlift with 135 pounds. I mean, this is an old woman. She trains perfect.
Right.
I started her on a selectorized leg press. She started off at 90. 3 months later, she's doing 375 on a plate load.
Now, I want to go back a little bit, though.
So I'm just getting you excited
Yeah.
that there's ways of, you got to get to the weight that you need to. Like for a growing man, they need to leg press between 600 and 800 pounds once a week. Training at home's not good. So we're going to talk about you for a minute. Okay. So I didn't even look at your body. So, okay, you got really strong legs, but you have no relationship to your other body. Zero.
Yeah.
I mean, you know you have arms and you have to do this and this, but you don't know what it's like to have a different body. So when somebody comes in and I show them a picture and before and then I show them afterwards, they say, I didn't know that was possible. It is possible. So I'm working on changing the contour or working synergistic muscles that create the landscape to a beautiful body.
That's pretty cool. But we still haven't really talked about you.
Oh,
Because
okay,
I want to bring it back to you. And from talking to Batista, I understand a little bit about what you guys are doing. And I think it's marvelous. But how did you come to this point? What journey did you take to get there? Other than the studying, what did you trip along the way?
No, what happened was they tried to change Arnold. So I mean, it's similar. I'm not Arnold, but what happens is people would ask me what I do, and I say I'm an international body designer. You come to see me. I'm going to create a solution to your body. I'm going to teach it to you, and your life is going to be different. And I never veered from it. I didn't do massage. I didn't have an outside job. I didn't do any of that. I was laser focused because to change a person's body, they're even in my dreams.
Wow.
You got to look at it that when you go to an acupuncturist, you hopefully know that they put the needle in the right meridian because of an educational factor, even a surgeon. When I develop a program, it's built like that. Everything counts. If your bench is out 1/8 of an inch, you're not going to be able to do the weight properly. If your tailbone isn't balanced properly, you're not going to process the exercise properly. If you do this exercise, it's textbook correct, but you're going to have ill pain 2 or 3 days later, you're going to feel terrible.
Right.
So people don't know where their pain actually comes from. So I built it up where people would come to me with all sorts of challenges, and I welcomed them, and I worked on them, and I challenged them, and I did it without, I always set it up so it would be sustainable. The problem is that on my website, we have people that have been doing it for 30 years.
Right.
Well, where's the business? I built something that was so good that it lasted most of their life. See?
Right. But for the folks watching out there,
Yeah.
because of the name of the show, Put It Together,
Okay.
again, there had to... let me start with that, because you said you were laser focused.
Okay.
You knew what you wanted to do.
Yes.
It might have not had a name, but you knew.
Right.
How did you stay that focused? How? Because there's always naysayers in our families or friends.
I always stayed focused because even today the passion. Okay, I'll put it in simple terms. When you have a person that's painting, and they sit down every day and they paint, they fall into this beautiful world that gives them pleasure. They don't know if the painting is going to sell. Sometimes later on they became famous. That I would be painting every day. I would be creating formulas just like a scientist. I would be going out and working with them, and then I would tweak them and change them, and then next week I would come with something better.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I develop a program, we can take one exercise, so we'll call that a white belt in martial arts, and 2 months later, we now have a program that's gone through white belt, purple belt, brown belt, green belt, and now it's a black belt exercise. Now they go further, now it's a black belt, 7th degree exercise. People don't look at it that way. I'm fascinated by the process. That's what keeps me actually alive, is having this intuitive ambition or worth about myself. And if you ask me if I get knocked down, I get knocked down every single day.
Yeah.
When I go into, let's say, a chamber mixer, the people don't have a good mindset.
Okay.
When I talk to a woman, I could be talking to a woman for a few minutes, and then pretty soon the host, instead of introducing me and talking to me, she'll say, well, I heard that you're too aggressive on the women. Is that positive? You're a grown woman. How negative, how aggressive can that be? It's just, I'm a body designer. I help women be 15 to 20 years younger and to work on their aches and pains. That's not aggressive. But you're running into society where, because women or men don't work out and work on their emotions, because it's all part of it, they're laying trips on each other. So when people want to have a healthy relationship, it's important that they get somebody to the gym so that they have a safe place to let out some steam.
So there is that connection.
There is, I work with gay men, okay? So one will show up that has a very healthy mindset and is working out. The other one is fat and out of shape. Unhealthy. But what will happen is the person that's in shape will help the other one stay still unhealthy. She'll say, oh, he's not interested, he's not that type. He's not finding a way to communicate with him. Because I can take a person like that, and in about 12, 15 minutes, he's going to fall in love with training. He doesn't know, because he doesn't know what it is working out.
Right.
He never got there, or maybe he went too far away from home. All he knows is somebody told him about diet, aerobics, core training, and he's too far away from home. He can't cope with it.
So all of those factors play into working out
Yes,
better.
because I have what they call a program that's called Relations Self-Defense. It teaches men and women how to rock and roll each other or how to have a healthier relationship and things like that. What I always refer to in some of the conversations is I'm subjected to watch Hallmark movies. Hallmark movies, I like acting.
I like Hallmark movies, by the way. So
Yeah, so here it's always the same scenario. Somebody comes in, they could be married, divorced, whatever it is. They say, "I'll never date again. I'm interested in business." And then this handsome guy or handsome woman comes in, and the third person always says, "Wow, I've never seen you so happy." And the other one says, "I'll never go out. I'll never do this. I'll never do that." And at the end of the movie, they get the person just to go for lunch or have a
Right.
quiet time. But in life, they're not like that. People support people on expressions that they can't do this. "Oh, I'll never work out. I can't do this." But they don't know how to. They don't say, why don't we have a cup of coffee with Dr. Fitness and see if he has any ideas for us or what that might look like. Or if it doesn't work out, so we'll go for coffee and lunch. They don't talk. They support people on the negative aspect of what's not working in their relationship.
got it.
Because I've worked with the gay men, and the other half doesn't take care of himself, and he dies.
Yeah.
He might have lived longer if he worked out.
And that's
Or
where
if they did work out together, then they have a really better bonding.
and that's where my question lies. For like, we all try, and I'm really curious about how you've managed your career, and how you've managed the body designer title, because I've never heard it either, and it through all times, the different generations, the different types of workouts, the different fads that come through. Not to give power to people or negative people, but how did you overcome, or how did you jump over that border of negative?
I work
people?
at it every day. The evidence is there that what I do works. So, unlike personal training, when somebody would come to see me, I always charge by the project.
Okay.
So when Batista came in, 8 years ago, my price for her was $10,950.
Okay.
She came up, believe it or not, with $8,000 something. She took every cent she had and put it on me.
Wow.
Okay, so people look at personal trainers like they buy them, like I pay this guy so much money. They don't realize that when they pay a personal trainer after 2 years, they've now paid between $32,000 and $36,000 for time with a trainer that they don't own.
Got it.
So they don't think clearly. So I created a package way back when that was invaluable. So I have somebody that just went on the air that she paid $10,000 something, and now it's 17 years later. So that program lasted her 17 years.
Wow.
See? So the value is there. They don't know how to calculate where the money is going and what exactly it is that they're paying for.
So, I guess my next question would be, going back to when you first started your first design.
Yeah,
For that.
there you go. You got it.
When you did your first design, going back and looking at that young Steven, would you have put your money on that Steven?
Absolutely. Because after, I don't know if it's 34 years, when we pull out programs, they're masterpieces. I've never made an error. Isn't that interesting? When I go back 30 years, you can pull out any program you want that's bulletproof. If you just pick up that program, and I know there was somebody that came in to see me, and she actually married a personal trainer, but she didn't have money, and she said, well, can I have that program from Rita Rose? See, I showed her a picture of somebody that was similar to herself. I showed her that she had a formula that she changed her body, and she knew she already paid for the program, so she was able to negotiate with herself.
Got it.
See, people don't know how to negotiate. You know, if you go and buy a diamond ring, you don't say, I can buy a diamond ring. You got to negotiate with a man. You got to tell him, I love the way you think. You know, I'd be so honored to work with you. My budget is a little low. Is there something we can do about it? Or can we do something a little less? You see? Or you get a person that says, you know, whatever's going on with my body, I didn't realize it, but is it reversible? Yeah. People come in and they go, oh, how much is it? How much is it? How much is it? You have a toothache, it's going to cost you a lot of money when you go to the dentist. You're not going to ask how much is it. You're just going to say fix it. Okay? So it's better to take a little ounce of precaution than not. Because muscles on a body is insurance. Okay, if you trip or fall or you're in the hospital, as soon as you come out, you'll know how to get your strength back. Because you have a memory or you have a platform of exercise that'll give you back at least 30-40%. It'll give you back something.
So, are you changing more than just bodies?
I'm changing a person's entire life. Because what will happen is they'll show up as a better person. Yeah. They'll be kinder, more understanding, more giving. And today, right now, I ask, do men steal women's time, youth? Do men steal women's youth? They steal it every single moment. Because when men find out that women are smart, they're going to use women till they drop. Women don't know how to say no. Now, the greatest gift that a man can give his woman is the gift of having her grow younger than older. And my program will help a woman grow younger.
You have this ability, and I find it very refreshing and different, and it's making me question me as an interviewer more than anything.
Okay.
You have a very good way of staying in the now. Like, you're very aware that every day is a challenge, and that every day is a gift. How do you do that? How has that?
I follow my own advice.
There you go.
Okay. Here's something that can be explained. In the brain, between male and female, there is a difference. In gay atomically men or left-handed men and women, they have a large connective tissue between left and right side brain, so they can multitask. Okay. They connect with each other, but they bump heads. Males have a very right-handed males usually have a smaller brain passage, so we're more visual. We don't multitask a lot of the times. See? So what happens is, in life, for men, when they go too low, if their strength drops below 50%, they start to get depressed, they start questioning yourself, they can't handle stress as much. Women are different. They have more male as they grow older. Okay? So what happens is, if I'm having a day that's from hell, you know, I love it in California because you're supposed to say, oh, everything is great. Everything is great. Nothing is great. I have a famous actor that comes in to see me. I won't say, and he reveals himself while I take photos. Reveals himself that he really wants to change. He wants me to see everything. Okay? And he's weighing 400 pounds. He gives me a commitment. He gives me everything. Has he shown up yet? No. That's painful. It's painful because I asked the wife, if you're 98 pounds and your husband is 420 pounds, don't you have any love or concern for him to take care of himself? I'll have to answer for her. I'll say no. She's only interested about pretty and doing actress roles. If I had a wife that weighed 400 pounds, I'd be going to see Stephen Hercy. So, because I create from my feminine side, these things are very sensitive to me. When I see people hurting themselves in the gym, I can't change it at the moment. Okay? I don't have the right to, but it's painful. Okay? So when I'm having those days where I'm not, because men judge themselves by a problem they salvage, when I'm not selling something, solving something, I feel terrible. Yeah. So what I do is I pick up the program just like I tell people. I take some supplements. I'm not going to say which ones, and they're They're sold over the counter, okay? Okay?
It's all legal here, folks.
It's all legal. Okay? And in 15 minutes, I'll go to the gym. I'll go to the gym and do my program. And in 12 minutes, I will raise my strength level over 50%, and I come back a different person. There's no depression, there's no ups, there's no downs, there's no nothing. It's like being reborn again. It happens every single time for every single person that follows my program, because it's
including you.
Yeah. You got to be the drummer. You got to walk your own path. So look at me. I'm 70. Okay, I didn't even get my hair done or whatever it is. Okay, people say, "Oh, you're in such great shape." Hey, I go to the gym like everybody else. You think I want to go to the gym when I can sit here and play on my computer? Just pick up the program and go to the gym.
Right.
Because what happens, the program says, go sit in that chair. Okay, go sit in that chair, like the chess player. Just go sit in that chair. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm just sitting. Nobody's bothering me. Oh, I just have to press the machine 4 times. Oh, I can do that. Oh, then it says do it 6 times. But let's change the weight. Oh, okay. And then by the 3rd set, wow, I'm feeling pretty good. How'd that happen? It's magical, see?
Well, it's
in the sequencing and the rhythm of the exercise. There's a rhythm. There's a sequence.
But do you also attach to that the sense of accomplishment, like you've
absolutely
done something today?
Yeah, absolutely. Because in my life, when I go to the gym, I'm always working on different formulas. Somebody came in, somebody might come in. I'm already doing a rescheduling, or I'm already creating another program. It's kind of like somebody coming in, they say, gee, I tried every tailor, and I got this great occasion, and I don't know what to do, and please, can you help me? And then I go, I got the perfect dress for this person.
Got it. Did you ever have a plan B in your life as to what you were going to do?
No, the plan B, I wish I had a plan B. There's a sponsor out there. The plan B in my mind was, when I had a vision, was that some people would come from all over the world to have their photograph taken at a famous photographer. I always dreamed that I was going to have this famous studio that people would come to see me so they could change their body. And I'm not talking about a gym. There's plenty of gyms.
Right.
Okay, and I'm not a personal trainer that's going to stand beside somebody every single day and do all that stuff. It's magical. So sometimes if somebody's on a custom program, like a custom movement, I've developed a system like the woman that's 74 years old. Okay, so now I developed the program. So what I need is a teacher. So I have a file of pro trainers, etc., but I need a teacher. So now I have to call Batista because she's the highest level teacher in the world. And I say, listen, would you help me out on this assignment? So she said, okay, I'll be the teacher. I'll teach Norma. Okay? So now I create this magical script. The excitement is when she doesn't worry, Batista. She knows if she picks up this script, this person's life is never going to be the same. It's going to be so perfect. She can't wait to teach it because she's going to be a heroess. See, she's going to change somebody's life. For a woman to give to another woman that sense of life, she can't have a job better than that or a position. So now she goes there, but there's Stephen Hercy in the same car. So now this person has the 2 people there. I'm not getting paid for it. But I built this program, and should a question arise, I'm there to answer the question. So in the consequence that happened and things like that, when we did a retraining, now she had to use more weight, so the person was in a terrible mood, and Batista came running down to me, and she said, oh, Norma is having a fit, emotional fit. Okay, great, okay. So I go up there. This is really funny because I go up there and I say to Norma, oh, hi, Norma. How are you doing today? She says, "Oh, Mr. Hercy, I'm feeling really good." I says, "Oh, gee, I think you're really strong today. What's going on? Could you show me how to do?" "Oh, stop." She only did one rep, okay? I said, "Okay, you know what it is? It's because the footboard is too far away from you. It's like reaching for a can that you just can't reach. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create a whole pad behind your back that's going to push you much more closer to the machine so it can clear the safety pegs, and you're going to feel so empowered you're going to lift the weight." See, that's where I come in, ergonomics.
Okay.
Or I'll look at a machine and say, "Well, it was a great idea to put it in the program, but it doesn't fit with the person's body, so why don't we try this machine and this machine and this machine?" Then the person says, "I don't like waiting for machines." I said, "Well, that's good because there's Life Fitness here for the bicep, and there's a matrix over here. So I'll create it in the program so you'll never get stuck." See? It's very fascinating for me how you can rock and roll in the gym. Now you got to go away when they're on project. I'm not thinking about money. We spend 2-3 hours, 4 hours in the gym. We don't care. And then I go home and put it together like a Swiss clock. All this confusion, all this stuff, I'm going to put it together like a Swiss clock. When I give it to them, it's going to be a clean sheet that when they look at it, they're going to say, "I can do that." Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
What I'm getting from talking to you is, again, your passion for what you do. Because every question always ends up about somebody else. There's always this.
Well, I use an example. Okay.
But no, and I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying that shows such a level of passion and love for what you do. It's like they say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Yeah. And that's just what I'm gathering from you. And I mean that as a positive. Because even when I asked you about if there was a plan B, and you were like, "No." Just from listening to you, I can tell that this was going to work because it was going to work. There was just no question about it. And
that's a certainty.
And I can see that.
That's a certainty. Now, whether somebody picks it up is a little different. If we had like Nike or some of the big companies, or we had people in better positions to support us men, okay, if we had women who would be more empowered to talk to Batista, that would be good, because we're private people. So, we're not personal trainers in a gym, working for an hour. We take what we do seriously. We walk the talk. And for Batista, she thinks all women should be on my program. I think all men should be in my program. I have a video I do. What's the first thing men come in? "I used to work out." "Well, why aren't you working out now?" They have these stupid things. Like I go to the same meeting that the person changed gyms. He's there with his wife. Fascinating couple. I like him. He's a great speaker because he's strong, okay? What I find out is that his wife, they've been married 35 years. I said, "Wow, I want to know the secret," okay? But there's nothing left of her. She's just like a stick. But he doesn't see it, that the stress of bringing up 5 children and being so impacted in our logic has denied her the path of youth. Then I ask him, he says, "Oh, well, I work out. I work out with my buddies at the country club." And I said, "Oh, so what do you do for your legs?" He said, "Oh, well, I do front squats." Front squats, okay. Because I have some back issues. Now, most people become. I said, why on earth, as a growing man, would you want to do a front squat that would aggravate your back and exasperate your neck that has no range of motion? Doesn't talk to me again. Forget it. He doesn't say, "Oh, that's interesting." You see? They do stupid things, man. They've got this male idea that they're the expert.
Right.
See, in every business, there's always an expert, and they want to know how to make more money, how to think. But in fitness, when you talk to them, they try to be the expert.
Right.
It's kind of fascinating.
I come to you to tell you everything that I know.
Yeah. So it's better. So what I'm looking for, when people hear me, that they're going to not for them, of course, they're okay. Refer it to somebody else. You want your body changed? Come with an open heart and an open mind and have a conversation. There's some leaders there that sent letters to men that the men have become weak and the women have become too strong. They stop waltzing together. There's too much things going on. Okay, so it's important for men to have conversations today. So I practice when I go to the gym. Usually I wouldn't talk, okay? I say hello. Oh, why are you doing that exercise? You know what I mean? I practice actually being verbal. It's kind of interesting. It doesn't always work, but you know what I mean? Or the guy catches me staring at him. I say, well, what? Because I'm thinking in my mind, why on earth would you be doing that exercise? Especially when they're with trainers. So, anyways, last Sunday, I came into the gym, and there was this older man. It's funny I say older man. And he actually had very good muscular condition. You know what I mean? Thin skin, muscles, and things. And he's sitting on this leg press. It slides up and down. It's got weights. It's called selectorized leg press. Okay. Now, I needed it. So he's at 170. Look at him. Why on earth are you doing 170? Your feet are in the goddamn wrong place. Okay, so I have a car. I say, all of a sudden he starts listening to me. He says, well, I'm working with Brad, the personal trainer. I says, oh, really? Yeah. Well, how does it feel that your legs are a little lower? He says, oh, I feel great. I says, well, why don't you take it for a spin now? He says, okay. I says, yeah, but take the pin and put it 270. He goes, 270? He does it easily. He gets all the machines. I never dreamed I could do 270. He's been 100 pounds out of the weight. At his starting weight, he's been 100 pounds out of the weight range. Trained with a pro trainer that's all steroided up.
Yeah.
He's walking away. He's like so empowered that he did 270.
Wow.
And I didn't give him my business card. I didn't say I'm a trainer. I don't want to start without a trainer. You know, let them do their thing there.
Right.
But
you've lived this.
Yeah, I live it every single day. So I look for support from people who are in a better place than myself. You came forward because you're here talking to me. So I'm looking for more. But there are people in higher places that can make a big difference for their company employees, for women's lives, everything in their life.
Well, here's the camera.
There's the camera.
Here's your moment.
You see, because when I go to the gym, I hear the guy says, I wish my wife worked out. Okay, but he won't give him the information. Or they'll say to the person, the man will say, you're okay the way you are, honey. See? I encourage Batista go train every day. Can you imagine after all these years I get into a muscular chick and my friends get into bed with an old mattress? Be realistic. You have no idea, because what happens is it's very confusing for men, whether they're with another man, when they see their other half and their older half is getting differently in their body. Their hormones are changing, their visual image is changing, and they don't know what to do about it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when your hormones and image change, you kind of die a little bit inside. So when you have a person working out on my program, of course, drfitnessusa.com, you will become 15 to 20 years younger. And I forgot to mention that my wife, Batista, wrote a #1 best-selling book that all women should read. It's called Feminine Body Design by Batista Grimaud, just like this, okay? And this is my beginning book, which I used to carry in the elevator. It's called Posture for Power. So when I'd be in the elevator, I'd say to the guy, did you read this good book? And then he'd say, why, that's you. Yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? Or sometimes when I'm speaking, I talk about, is there a doctor in the house? Of course there's a doctor in the house, except that unfortunately, I got 2 flat tires driving into a yacht club because I drove in on the spikes the wrong way. But I'm here talking to you, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to have some humor.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to smile. Yesterday when I went to the gym, the most pathetic thing, there's 2 guys there that got tattoos, they're built, they are into it, and they've got a sweet Latino girl that's very pretty, a lot out of shape, and she's just sitting there doing nothing. Once in a while, they let her lift 10 pounds.
Wow.
See, and then she gets a little kiss, and she's in the most progressive gym in the world doing nothing. So don't think that men don't hold women back, and don't think that men don't hold men that back. No. So there's a dynamics between all the relationships that if they all did the Dr. Fitness Hercy routines, prescription strength training program, their relationships will blossom to a level that they didn't know was possible.
So we're kind of, I lost track of time on my class. But there's a words of wisdom moment in my show where we say some words of wisdom to people listening. What would you like to share with my audience?
If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA or myself, Stephen Hercy, can help you achieve it. But come with an open mind and an open heart and be willing to at least be patient with the conversation that I have. If it comes across that you don't understand or it's too harsh, then ask me for a clarification. Because I'm not in a hurry to spend time getting you to know how to get to a higher level in your life, whether it's a relationship or a job or just living longer.
It's very cool. I'm still admiring the fact that most folks that when I interview them about their passion or their job or what they love, there's always the story of, well, I went in this direction. But I'm blown away by the fact that you stayed your course and believed in yourself. And did you always believe in yourself?
I've always believed in yourself. And when I got married, if there were any doubts, Batista, I'll close it like this. Mike Allen was how do you say it? A forest ranger? Not a forest ranger. Park ranger?
Park ranger.
Okay. To make it short, I once walked up to him and I said, what exactly are you doing in your life? I said, if you mark down what you're doing, I'm going to tell you where you're at. So I didn't think a grown man would do this. He was a big guy and he looked like a wrestler, but I see him training all the time. When I looked at this thing that he drew out, he was working out 3 hours on martial arts, 3 hours on bodybuilding, 3 hours on meditation. He never stopped working out every single day of his life. I took her out there because he had an attitude, and I had empathy for him. I didn't have empathy, and I wanted to challenge. When I worked with him 3 months, he changed that you couldn't recognize him, that he started putting his pictures on singles, okay? I mean, his attestation to that is that what Bruce Lee was to martial arts, I am to bodybuilding. And to this day, we still we just lost contact for 5 years. He just sent me a letter that's saying that I'm the greatest mentor he has ever met in his life. And he only wishes when he comes back to LA that I would open my heart and my door to work with him again to find some resemblance of his former years.
Well, that's high praise right there.
You know, and he's a martial artist, he's a bodybuilder, and he's all these things. Yeah, he's a very spiritual type of man. He leads a quiet life. And for him to have that recognition of me is unbelievable. And I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them that they were very accomplished people. And some of them said, I can't afford to do your program because I got to put my kids through school. Really? But you can afford $1, can't you? So I called the person out as a liar. You know why? Because it better be a king for a day than a schmuck out of your life. So I took that strength that I talk about and took a risk. And it came back positive. The person who was a medical doctor, he said, you insulted me and my wife. And 5 days later, I had money from him. And 10 years down the road, their whole life has been different. He became he was a world-class surgeon anyways, but his wife became a bodybuilding champion. Everything in their life changed just by having an open conversation with me and telling me what they can do and what they can't do and what I can work with. So I'm proud of myself that I have that old school, that I'm still open to quiet conversations with people in a noisy environment. So that we can have eye-to-eye contact, and rock and roll with that.
Well, after listening to you, I honestly believe that bodybuilder is not an appropriate time. You definitely are a spirit soul mind designer. I think there is so much, because just listening to you, I'm like, I can do anything now. Like
You can.
I can't do. And for those of you listening, we're in a different room, but the interview that I did with Batista, we're in the same space, so we're listening to each other's conversation. You obviously heard earlier about my health issues over the years, and how if you didn't watch the other show, for those of you following me and listening or watching, post-cancer, I developed this I can't attitude that I don't know where it came from because I didn't have it before. So my brain had got lost and I can't do this anymore. I can't do that anymore. But sitting here listening to you, I'm getting chills.
Yeah, you can. But you're thinking, you want to do it in the way that you thought you used to do it.
Right.
But you don't know that there's 20 other... I have a quotation on my thing from Eugene Foster, who actually had a fabulous body, and she was in the gym for 20 years. She talks about that I trained for 20 years, and I didn't know half the equipment was available to me. She was totally not ignorant, but not educated. So she was doing the same thing over and over again when all the good stuff was in the gym. So in your case, you have to approach your body differently than you would when you felt stronger or healthier.
Right.
Because one is you have a memory of how you used to be, and then you have the memory of pain and disappointment. But at the same time, your body grew older. It grew older because you lost a lot of muscle tissue and it's replaced by fat. So that makes the compound almost seem impossible to change. So when a man goes in, they're going to try to get leaner, they're going to try to lose the weight, and that's not the way to do it. You got to go in one step at a time. Watch this. I take a person that's been training all their life. They're a big, strong, athletic guy. And then he's been away from the gym for 8 years. Okay? I can sit him down and give him one little arm curl. Okay? But do it a certain way with 10 pounds. And about 10 minutes later, he's not going to want to stop doing it. All of a sudden, the brain-muscle connection is starting to say, wow, I remember how my body used to work. That felt really good, see? But he's not going to do it like he used to. And what I mean by used to is I go in and there's guys that are really well built, okay? So it's a what they call a Scott machine. It's a bicep curl where you do it like this. And they all do it like this, Some do it better than others, okay? They don't know that when you take the handles and you turn your elbows in, it works the inside part of your bicep. If you take the elbows and put it out, it works the eyesight. So when I do it, I only need 2 sets because I'm fascinated that I know how my bicep is working. So I only need 2 contractual sets. When I go into the gym, I go into what they call the second room. There's a Nautilus bicep curl machine. They do it 1 arm at a time. I pass by and I go like this. It's a perfect tricep exercise. Your tricep is done in 7 minutes. That saves time and energy. See, people don't know that. I've always been fascinated because my father was an electrical contractor. Then when I would go on location, he would like me to be a worker. But I always found a way that I could sit on the ladder and get other people to do the work. So it was born with me to always try to find an easier path or solution to what I'm supposed to do. I got a real feminine side. I'm looking for the soft side of life.
Just like there is a way to work smarter, there's a way to work out smarter.
Yes.
So you can work out smarter, get the same results that are beneficial to you.
Absolutely.
That's pretty. So before we go, I'd like you to invite the people that are listening to this or watching this and go, maybe they're in my situation where they're like, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to go to my website and schedule a conversation with me and just be open. We can spend 15 or 20 minutes on the call and see what you're actually doing and what can be done so that your life could be a lot more impacting with better health and a better mindset. Sometimes I wouldn't worry about cost because people are spending money all the time. What's important is seeing me as the expert, and that when you ask me a question, I'm telling you something that's truthful, that you come back and you say, is it possible to change that. Okay? Because when I go to the dentist and she says, oh, you got bone loss, but I brush my teeth, I do everything right. Dentist, please, can I have the bone loss back? She says, no. So people come in here and they're out of shape or they did the wrong tour. They say, oh, can I have my body back? I saw a trainer, he's offering me $1 an hour. No. You have to come to the doctor. In this case, it's myself. I'm not a physician. It's a title or recognition. Understand that. And I can help you to be independent of personal trainers. I can help you to have a program that's going to get you healthier and work on your emotional level and be sustainable so that you're going to have a desire to go to the gym at least once or twice a week. So it's very important to follow instructions because I talk about the new person that just joined my program. I got her from here to there. The instruction to him was, call me if anything changes. A week later, his mother's sick. He's got 3 new clients. He has to fly to Kansas City. He's texting me. He's doing all the things that he ought to be not doing. It's disrespect. Stephen, I'm short on time. I haven't got to you. What should I do? So I'm going to tell him, look it. I'll say his name's Charles. Charles, remember what I talked to you about, my program? I did research. How long does it take you to go to Crunch Gym? 6 minutes. Okay, 6 minutes. Okay, you see the clock? It's 1 o'clock. The program is 40 minutes. You take that 6 minutes and go to the gym. You'll be back by 2 o'clock. You mean to tell me that you can't leave the office or your seat for 2 o'clock? Because you'll go to the gym, your whole body will change, your mindset will change, and you will be okay for a whole week from that one program.
Wow.
But he's on his own. He's got this to-do list. They all have this to-do list. I told him, just pick up the program and get in the car. There's a problem every day in society. Every 10 minutes there's a crisis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you don't put gas in the car, it's not going to go anywhere. See, and I tell people when you have a URL, if you're missing the period, I just told that to somebody, what happens? They say, well, it won't go somewhere. When I ask you for something, make sure all the details are there because I'm not looking at it or giving you advice or telling you what to do unless you do your homework. Yeah. Everything counts.
Everything counts. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're working with the best in the world, which I know I am, because this is not PBX and this is not personal training, and I'm trying to bring a health component of education to men or women, that strength training is the way to go. Because right now, bodybuilding is the greatest activity in the world, but it still has a bad name. Like if you go up to a woman, it could be a man. Others say, oh, I don't do bodybuilding, because they're thinking of Arnold.
Right.
Okay, they're still old school, so the education hasn't happened yet, but they don't realize that their friend could be have Parkinson's disease, they can have an accident, disability. The only thing that's going to save their life is the gym. Go into the gym. There's people that have no legs, they don't have no arms, they weight train. So start being so closed-minded and come with an open heart. Nobody's telling you to do anything. We're just sharing conversation, and if you get a good feeling, then follow through.
Excellent. So remind everybody where they can find you, numbers.
So the conversation today is drfitnessusa.com. It's the short version, drfitness. You got to put USA.com. That's our brand. Phone number is 424-245-6560. You can write or schedule an appointment, which is the best way to do it. But you got to leave details, who you are, something like that. And if you call, important, leave a message, because I get a lot of calls. And if you're, I don't say serious, if you want to have a conversation with me, I'm going to call you back. And then we go from there. But don't tell me you don't have money, you don't have time, you know, all that stuff.
Have a conversation first, and then
there you go. Have a conversation.
Well, for everybody listening or watching, I've been talking to Stephen Hercy, body designer, Dr. Fitness USA. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation as much as I have. I meet a lot of people, and for those of you who have been following me for the last several years, I mean, I talk to a lot of people about their careers, their jobs, their passions. Very few and far between do I find somebody where all three things are one thing. Their career, their job, and their passion.
Yes.
You have, if nothing else, you have changed the way I see the day. I admire somebody who can be in the moment and go, every day might be shitty and every day might be great, but you got to wait for the day to start.
You got it. That is so beautiful. The program is the way to go, because I'm explaining that when you increase your strength, it takes care of the depression. Yeah. You follow me? Because like when you take a man or a woman, especially a woman, I'm just giving you an example, and you're giving her a bench press, right? We don't give a bench press on a flat bench because there's 4 fears in life: fear of rejection, abandonment, noise, and failure. People don't know that the emotions in a woman are stored in her chest. If you lie her down, she's out of control. So what we do is we put her on an incline at a certain degree, 45 degrees, so she feels empowered. Now, through my system, she will lift the weight she's supposed to, even though she doesn't know that she can do that. And when she lifts the weight, all that emotions that's been stored in her tissue for 25 years leaves her. And I think Batista told you that.
Yeah. So if you missed the other episode with Batista, please go back and check it out. I guarantee you that between both episodes, you will find some of that inner strength that I'm finding right now. And you guys know that I will not bullshit you on my guest, but I'm a little teary-eyed because no matter where I go from this direction, I know that I can accomplish anything I want to, and I can do this because it's folks like Dr. Fitness USA, Stephen Hercy.
You got it. You got
it. He has shown me in this hour that if you don't have a plan B and you have focus and you go in the direction knowing that you're not going to fail, you will not fail because everything you will accomplish it. Anyway, I'm rambling now. But I did, man, thank you so much for the time.
It was a pleasure. You were an excellent host.
Thank you. So for everybody watching or listening, this has been put together with Dr. Fitness USA, Stephen Hercy, body designer. Check it out. Check out his website. All the information will be on Facebook. You can check out all of his stuff. For now, again, I want to thank my producer, Mr. Kevin Moyers, for all his help and support. Thank you, sir. Inviting you all to check out abnormalentertainment.com, where you can find all the shows in the network. There's something there for you. Please find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube at Little Mexican, or on the Facebook page, Little Mexican Productions, where you can find everything that we're working on. Please catch my show, Zodiacs with Daniel and Wayne, on the Zodiacs page every other Monday live on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Man. Look at how strong you are. You're strong.
We'll see you next time. Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys.
Subscribe to Put It Together on iTunes, Stitcher, and at abnormalentertainment.com/putittogether. Find Put It Together on Facebook and tweet Daniel at Lil Messican, LILMESICAN. And for more podcasts, comics, books, movies, and more, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.